Welcome to the woods. Cold out there this morning. First real frost this year. I've done a bit of work this morning. I had to go up and move a couple of chicken coops. I had to go and pick a new bed up. That's all done. So I thought I'd sit down 10-15 minutes and have a chat. What I wanted to talk about today was the future. And how that might look. You'll have to excuse the dogs, there's 7 of them bundling around. And how that future might look. Because in a minute you're going to start to see more and more of the elite's vision of that future being pushed. The baldy bloke Klaus Schwab from the Economic Monetary Forum, as well as talking about building back better, the 4th Industrial Revolution and the Great Reset. Now there's a chainsaw going off. Life in the woods. As well as talking about those things, they're also going to start selling their vision of the future. And it's going to look good. They're going to make sure it looks good. And people are going to buy into it unless there's an alternative vision of the future. And there's no point in just pointing out all of the things that are going wrong in society. When I look around at the different political parties and the spectrum of politics at the moment, even the left and the right and the far left and the far right, no one's really pushing a vision of the future. The left are very keen on telling us that all the problems in society are down to class and class struggle. And the right are very keen on telling us that it's all to do with demographics and ethnicity. And if truth be told, both of those things need addressing. And the third thing is the financial system we're constrained within, where the left and the right both agree that it's no longer fit for purpose. But where's the vision? What is that future going to look like? The left don't seem to be selling anything. And the right, a lot seem to be just arcing back to the 1950s. Which may very well have been a simpler, happier time. But we're not in the 1950s. And as much as Klaus and his Economic Monetary Forum may not have our best interests at heart, we need to understand that that 4th Industrial Revolution is occurring. But whereas in their plan it's going to be used to suppress the people, I see no reason why technology can't be used to advance everything we want, everything we need. But it needs to be the right people in control of it. They need to have the people's interests at heart and not merely sustaining their own financial and power hierarchy, which is what we've got at the moment. These people are never going to give up their positions of power. And even if they tweak with that system, the financial system, you can bet your house that it'll still be them in control of everything. They'll still be at the top. You'll still be at the bottom. I think we need to stop talking about the problems that we all recognise and start designing a future. Our future. I design my own. Now, I live in the woods, in a cabin, off-grid. Some aspects of my life, you could say, go way back to medieval times. It's a wooden building that I built myself. I chop wood for heat. But I've combined that with ultra-modern technology, the inverter that charges the batteries and takes the power from the solar panels themselves, although they've been around for a long time, that's cutting edge technology. And I think we need to understand that employment levels are going to fall. Because technology is there to replace a lot of jobs. And there's no point saying, then we just won't use it. We need to design our future using it so that the people have got whatever they need, whenever they need it, that they're not held back. What might that future look like? I think it's fairly obvious that the elites are going to do away with cash. So that they can control more of your life through electronic finance. Will they get rid of the financial system, switch over to some e-commerce, Bitcoin? I have no idea. But they'll be in control of whatever is implemented. So once we've sorted out the issues in our society, what sort of future do we want? Because at the moment, I'm not seeing that vision come forward. What I've built is a way of using technology and lessons from history to live in harmony with my surroundings. And it works, but it works for me. I wouldn't expect everybody to live like this. But I do think as a country we could do that. I do think we could use technology to make life easier for people. And maybe we'd end up with a two-tier system where a lot of people would be unemployed. And that would no longer be a stigma attached to that. Maybe those people would be free to do things they'd rather do. I'm a great believer in people being productive. They are. People love to do the things that they enjoy, which is why hobbies exist. But there would still be jobs that technology couldn't replace, or can't replace at the moment. And we've seen during that first lockdown how the banker wasn't really needed. Nowhere near as much as the nurse. So you'll end up with people moving into professions that technology can't do. And they'll be applauded. They'll be the people doing the jobs that we still need done. And their achievement will be based on productivity, not the accumulation of wealth. And maybe you'd end up with a society something like Starship Troopers, that corny little film, where you have the population and then the citizens. And the citizen, to become a citizen, you need to join. I think in that film you had to join the army or the teaching profession to do the things that still needed to be done. But that would afford you greater benefits than the general population, and rightly so. I don't know. I don't know how we go forward. I know what I'd like to see. But I really do think it's time we at least start talking about it. There's no point just banging on about the problems. What is the future going to be? What indeed are we fighting for? Let me know your ideas, people. I'll be interested in hearing. Speak to you soon.